hope that you're very well. It's Sylvana here, and I am back for a new episode here on the Jewels and Gems channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. For today's episode, I thought we would do something a little bit different. I was thinking about doing a card pull for you guys. I'd say it's like tarot / oracle card pull. It's going to be very interesting. For today's topic, I picked something that I thought might be interesting, that might resonate with a lot of people, and that is a spread related to your frequency, your general overall vibration at the moment. What is your frequency right now? So what we're going to do is we will do 3 different pulls. So there will be 3 different piles for you guys to choose from. So the idea here is that you can pick number 1, 2, or 3. Of course, you can pick more than one number, and if you don't feel that the number you have chosen for some reason doesn't resonate with you, you're very welcome to change it for another number. That's absolutely fine. So just a little quick explanation as to what will be the topics behind each of the cards for each pine. Well, we're gonna have 3 cards for each pine. So card number 1 is going to be, what is your current frequency? So the energy that you emit at the moment. Then we're going to have number 2 is going to be, what are you currently attracting with your energy? And then number 3 is going to be, how can you attract more positivity and abundance? Because that's what it should be all about. That's what we want to know. So let's get started. I'm just gonna first let you know, so you guys, in case someone is wondering, today I'm gonna use the Arcana of Astrology deck. It's a beautiful deck, and I just felt something a little bit different. We'll be doing like kind of astrology themed, but not completely, for a change. This card, I like to have a little bit of astrology themed readings sometimes, because astrology is such a wonderful tool that sometimes people forget that can guide you a lot in your life. It's a wonderful tool for self-development, and you can learn so much about yourself just by learning a little bit more about astrology. It might seem a bit overwhelming for a lot of people because it's such a big topic, but I promise you, once you get into it, it's really enjoyable, and it's something that you'll be so proud and delighted that you have started to learn. That's my Sagittarius rising speaking, in case you were wondering. So let's get started. So I'm gonna put the timestamps at the bottom, so we'll have pile 1, 2, and 3, so you can check out there, or you can watch the whole video as well. Why not? Then you can see what each pile has to say. It'll be very entertaining as well. So let's get to cards. So cards number 1, 2, and 3. And so the questions were your current frequency, the current energy that you're attracting, and how can you attract more positivity and abundance in your life. So what we have here first, that's pile number 1. If you have picked pile number 1, this is for you. So the first card we have is the card of the full moon. So what does that mean? The full moon is obviously going to be all about that beautiful intuitive energy. So it's all about clarity as well, because the moon is so big and bright and beautiful. It's at its peak state there. So your current frequency and the energy that you're emitting at the moment is basically saying that you are at a stage where you are you trust yourself, you trust your intuition, you acknowledge that things can come and go, things can start and come to an end, and that's okay, that's fine. And I suppose you do be someone that at the moment seems to be acting in alignment a lot with, for example, with how you feel. you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, in how you feel, and you listen to that and to your emotions. And that makes you maybe right now someone that could be prone to being a bit more calm, resilient, and light in your actions. And but at the same time, you do, when there is flaws, when there is faults, you acknowledge it and you are capable. And if this is not the case, well, that means that you have to work on those areas in order to raise your vibration. Then we've got the second card, which was, what are you currently attracting with your energy? And the card that we got for you guys is the sun, the beautiful sun, that beautiful masculine energy. Very interesting balance between the feminine energy and the masculine energy. So obviously your current energy is very feminine, but you are trying to attract more masculine vibes. So obviously you don't want just to rely on that beautiful feminine, you need that masculine. So you know what you're currently attracting is that balance of the two, which is very interesting, which gonna lead you to obviously being more positive. You want to attract more of that inner light, letting your inner sunshine shine everywhere and spread the good vibes, spread the positive energy. And just, you know, what you're attracting right now is that sense of purpose, that sense of all possibilities being able to come to you. And definitely something that's very interesting in contrast with the moon, which we had just before. The fact that these two cards came together is it speaks for itself. You know, you need that balance between your inner feminine and your inner masculine. And then the third card was, how can you attract more positivity and abundance in your life and raise that vibration? Well, the card that you guys have, it's very interesting. Again, what a coincidence. We got here the beautiful Aquarius. So what does that mean? That means you have to act like an Aquarius. So that means you have now to break free. You have to break free from people's opinions. You have to break free from people's opinions, perspectives, what they believe in, what they think, their, you know, their emotions, their worries. You know, you have to free yourself up from that. You know, try maybe to loosen up if you have tend to be a bit stuck lately. You know, like try to get a little bit weird or crazy. If you know, Aquarius friends out there probably understand what I mean by that. But yeah, just try to become a bit of an unpredictable person. Don't always stay in your comfort zone. Try to experiment with life and what you can do, rather than always staying in the safe place and in your comfort zone. That would be the message behind Aquarius. So that was pile number 1. Let's jump now into pile number 2. So for pile number 2, so let's go back to the questions first, because we want to be sure we are clear. So the first question was, what is your current frequency? What energy are you emitting at the moment? And funny enough for you guys, you got, let's see, for you, we've got the 9th house. Okay, very interesting. Let's start first by explaining what is the 9th house for my fellow astrology lovers. And so if you know astrology, you know that the 9th house is obviously going to be the house of Sagittarius and Jupiter. So it's going to be all about knowledge and truth. So what does that mean? That means that the current energy that you're emitting is all about that inner explorer. You are on a quest for learning. You're on a quest maybe for teaching. Maybe you're on a quest trying to develop some of those skills you know you have deep inside of you, and try to bring them out to the world in order to transform and become a better version of yourself. You are on a quest for development, truth, you're building. And that's what this card is all about. You are building something at the moment. And if you're not building yet, now is going to be the time for you to start building whatever's on your mind. Then the second card was, what are you currently attracting with your energy? So here we've got the beautiful Sagittarius. Interesting, considering we just had the 9th house and then we have Sagittarius, as we said earlier. The 9th house is ruled by the zodiac and Sagittarius, so that kind of ties in completely. So what does that mean? That means that the current energy that you're attracting is basically that sense of exploration leading to being more positive, being more optimistic. By focusing on your interests and your hobbies, what you're doing is that you're mentally and emotionally and spiritually allowing yourself to blossom and to really become fulfilled in what you do and fulfilled in your life. And that is the beautiful message here and the beautiful connection between the 9th house and Sagittarius. How cool. Such a beautiful combination. And now the last card is gonna be obviously how can you attract more positivity and abundance in your life. So what we have here for you guys now is Taurus. Very interesting. So you kind of all know, we all know some Tauruses in our lives, and usually Tauruses would be all about, well, I suppose strength, security. Let's give them that. They're all about that, but also indulgence. And what is Taurus reminding us here is that pleasure is important and that you should do what makes you happy, and that pleasure sorry, I'm so excited. Pleasure does not have to always come at a price. Pleasure can come from all the little things, the simple things in life. From, you know, buying a book you've been excited to read, you know, and purchase for the last few weeks or months, or just go to the park and, you know, admire the beautiful flowers there that are soon starting to blossom as spring comes our way. You see, that's what it's all about. So the best way for you to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, is just by finding that balance, you know, with pleasure and how you perceive pleasure. And remind yourself that sometimes it's so easy to forget about the little things, yet they are the ones that matter the most. And remind yourself that this should be your focus. I think that's a beautiful message we have here. And we should definitely use Taurus here and Taurus's energy as an example here. You know, that it's okay to be a bit, you know, of an Epicurean and just to enjoy life and all those things. But at the same time, it's also important to find the balance between all those elements. You know, indulgence has, you probably, I mean, I'm not teaching you nothing in there. We're all aware that abundance has its positives, but it can also have its flaws. So just keep that in mind, and you'll be absolutely fine. And now let's do the last pile, but not least, pile number 3. Whoever picked number 3, this is your pile here. So let's go back to the question. So the question was, what is your current frequency? So the energy that you are emitting at this present moment. And we'll see what the cards say. So, very interesting. So for this question, you guys got the 3rd house. Again, let's go back to a little bit of astrology basics. What is the 3rd house? The 3rd house is the house ruled by Gemini. It's the house ruled by Mercury. It's the house of communication and intellect. So what does that mean? You might be wondering. Well, it means that right now, what you've guys been doing is that sometimes, you know, we may feel like that everything is going against us. Like, let's take an example. Right now we are going through Mercury retrograde, And obviously there is a lot of difficulty at the moment for a lot of people, you know, like technology is causing a little bit of difficulties. My Wi-Fi yesterday was causing problems, or I could not manage to work on my computer because it was just so hard to get through it. So it's very easy to blame it on all those things and say, oh, I cannot do it because of Mercury retrograde. But at the same time, it's important to remind us that some things in life, you know, rather than complaining about it and saying that they're the problem and that it's their fault, what we can do instead is try to find little fixes, little solutions, and that everything can be solved. So I would say for you, if you've got this card, your current energy at the moment is that either you have been struggling to do this work and now is the time to really focus on that, or you've been doing it very well and you've been really balancing your ratio between listening and talking and speaking, you know, because it's so easy for everyone to speak and talk, you know, like Geminis, for example. That's why this house is ruled by Gemini. It's all about talking, speaking, expressing yourself. But at the same time, it's important to remind ourselves that it is also important to listen. So your current energy is all about that balance between listening but also speaking. Now, and then card number 2 was what are you currently attracting with your energy? So the card that we have here is obviously going to be Ceres. So Ceres, for those of you that do not know what it means, Ceres happens to be an asteroid, and in astrology asteroids also have importance, not just the planets. So Ceres here, it's a beautiful asteroid. I was going to say planet. It's a beautiful asteroid that signifies unconditional love and nurturing energy, abundance. And I would say for you, what you're currently attracting is those elements, maybe somehow, because you know, what you have to remember is that maybe you have been going through some wounds from the past, or maybe child life trauma or problems or difficulties or issues you might have. And what's happening is that, you know, it could have been brought you to an emotional low. Well, Ceres is here to remind you that, you know, you have to stay focused. You have to try to see the beauty in everything, you know, because that's how you're going to get through this. And remind yourself, you know, I really like that message, like what we said for Taurus, and I can really see it here as well, that no matter what the difficulties are and what you had to go through, and what is coming back to your mind, and all those thoughts you might have from the past, you know, from like traumas or difficulties you might have, it's so important to remind yourself that the energy you need to attract and embrace is love. And that what also comes sometimes with grief, with wounds, it's at the end, it's love. Grief becomes love. Wounds will become love. And what you have to do is allow yourself to go through that process and allow yourself to come to that point. That would be Ceres. And last but not least, we've got the third card, which is how can I attract, how can you attract more positivity, more abundance in your life and raise your vibration? Well, the card that you guys got is gonna be this one here, which is Hygeia. So this is another asteroid in astrology. It's also, you can see here, this beautiful asteroid is in astrology signifies something very interesting, and you will really see with the connection with Ceres here. It signifies healing, it signifies purification, it signifies cleansing. Hygeia, she's here to remind us that we have to clear our minds and our bodies, that maybe lately you have not been focused as much as you should have on this, and that both go hand in hand. The body, mind, spirit, all those three elements are combined and matter, and you have to clear your energy in all those areas. You need to try, maybe if you haven't done it already, maybe try a slightly more holistic alternative approach to medicine and healing yourself, Or if that did not work, then try to go for a more conventional and traditional approach with your doctor. Or what would be even a wonderful connection is to actually do the two together and see how that works for you. You know, whichever way works best for you. But yeah, definitely here, the way for you to raise your vibration is by starting and allowing a process of healing, a process of you know, purification. You have to reach for medicine. And I'm not talking here about drugs. I'm talking about medicine as the beautiful healing energy medicine embodies. And that's how you're gonna make sure that you raise your overall vibration. So yeah, that would be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. It was very interesting, and I can see that even though you picked one pile and not another, I think there is definitely a message here in each pile for everybody. I can definitely feel that, for example, for myself, I can see that I've learned something amazing that I can take away with me from each of those piles readings, and embrace and work on in order to raise my vibration. And I hope that you will do the same. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure you leave us a comment. Let me know, how did you feel about this reading? How did it go for you? Did you enjoy it? And thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe as well, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. See you guys.